Oh, what it is, folks. It's the pastor. What's going on? Top of the evening, everybody. Let me start up a little music. A little something from Parliament Funkadelic called One Nation Under a Groove. I'm going to let it speak for itself while I tag some people. One Nation Under a Groove. Yepper. This is a chance. One Nation Under a Groove. See, this tune, you know, it talked about dancing and unity and things like that coming together. It's kind of silly. But the reality is, you know, if we really was one nation under a groove, we wouldn't have all these problems we got going on right now. For sure. So I'm going to let that play while I tag up some folks. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, all right. A lot of good friends on here. Boy, say feet don't fail me now. Just like yesterday, I'm going to try to keep this conversation sort of up-tempo. Because I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to just put it out here just like that, okay? I know in this activism it get a little tense, and this was some of my good friends out here. Get a little tense. We get a little pent up. But we got to learn to find that spot within ourselves, where in spite of the tenseness, in spite of the want to really like snap, we bigger than that. We better than that. And this is really what's actually, you know, and just for me as an example, I ain't asking nobody to be me, and that's for sure. But in spite of everything that's happened, people coming against me, those who were with me was definitely not with me. But because I kept that eye on the prize and stayed straight, can't touch that. Brother kept stepping. Feet don't fail me now. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, Razan. Got you. Tonight we're going to have a little conversation. Because there's a lot of haters out here, man. There's a lot of racists out here. They coming out the closets, out the woodwork. And they talking crazy. And they lying and conniving and scheming, and every time they do, I'm loving this generation we in, because every time that they start that lying and scheming and conniving, they get caught. So shout out to all my brothers and sisters that's putting in work, catching racists in their racism. One nation. Got a couple of more folk. Yeah. Cal Trudy. For sure. Get ready, folks. In about a few days, we're going to put an announcement out about hopefully what's going to be one of the biggest marches that we have had in this area to date. A real unity march. Not no kumbaya marching and carrying on, and not no marches tearing up nothing. Nobody got time for that. We march in order to bring awareness to something and to make sure that everybody that comes out marching understands that the last step of the march begins the work, where we have to move legislature, where we have to move legislators, where we have to move people into office that's going to work for us and not for themselves or for other people. It's time, folks. It's time, folks. Okay, let me stop right there. I think I done went as far. I probably done went over where I can go. I ain't mad, though. Okay, great. Excellent. Excellent. What up, fam? What's up, everybody? The pastor's in the house with One Nation Under a Groove. And we rocking it. We're going to be talking about racist and racism tonight on the real. And you're going to hear some names called out for sure. And, you know, the only thing I can say is if I name names, this ain't about like going at them or nothing like that. But at least to identify what those who, you know, don't mean the good people harm. I mean, who mean the good people harm. Who don't mean the good people good. Okay? Brother Christopher, what's going on? Good to see you. Deborah, good evening. Sean, what's happening? How are you? How are you? Hi. Man, I got to get one of those things. What did they get them? What they call avatars, something like that? I think I need one of them. Do they do those for old people? One of your favorite songs? Yeah, one of my favorite groups, man. Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton and them boys, Bootsy Collins, man, for sure. All of them. Yes, rocking that George Clinton. Gwen, what's going on? Gwen, what's going on in Georgetown? You know we ready to ride. Straight up, because we one nation. We in Charleston, but you know Georgetown right around the corner. Conway right around the corner. Myrtle Beach right around the corner. We ready to ride here, you know, straight up. The mayor got to go. The mayor on Polly's Island got to go. Shoot. Darn racist, man. Ain't nobody putting up with that foolishness now. You know, we 20 years into the new century, and we still dealing with stuff that we was dealing with 50 years before the old century went away. It's time to end that. And I love that energy that's out here now, that's out here moving that needle. Man, y'all keep grinding for sure. Jamil, what's going on? Alrighty. William Hamilton, best friends of Low Country Transit, one of the greatest advocates we have for quality public transit in the Low Country. Can't nobody shake a stick at that, brother. All the way down, for sure. Down like 4 flat tires, ain't that what they say? Put a halt on that there right quick. Yeah, for sure. Taisha, what's going on? Look at here. If you fall asleep, it's all right. It's all good. I'm good with that. Because I know, man, you fighting some battles up there in Colleton County. So all of the folks that's on here, I want you to know that, you know, we have a battle in Colleton County too that we need to be working on. We can't fight the battle right here in North Charleston, the city of Charleston, and not address what's going on Pawleys Island, Denmark, South Carolina, Walterboro. We can't just do that because what affects them directly affects us indirectly. I ain't say that. Dr. King said that, you know. And so if you're going to celebrate Dr. King's birthday and then, you know, the holiday and everything in February that's designated to him or January that's designated to him, then you need to uphold, you know, whatever he's talking about. You need to at least believe in it. That's why I tell our Republican state representatives, go to work on King Day, because they don't believe in nothing Dr. King believed in. They don't believe in public education. They don't believe in universal health care. They ain't trying to end gun violence, the same thing that killed him. They ain't trying to do nothing like that. So I don't see why they get no holiday for it. Go to work. You don't believe in what Dr. King believed in? Go to work. Take no be out there cooking no hot dogs and can on, talking about being in a parade. You don't believe what he believed in? Rant time, for sure. Missy, what's going on? Miss B, good evening. Cherry, good evening. Yes, Yvette, good evening. Good evening. Lisa, how you doing? All right, Carmen, good evening. Eileen, good evening. Yes. Good people in the house. Faye, what's happening? Yeah, one nation under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. I love that. Nothing can stop us now. We got to believe that and hold on to it. Oh, Eric, Benjamin Corcoran, how you doing? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. And yes, I call you brother because I don't count any man or woman as an enemy. That's for sure. We might have opposing views, but I don't count anybody as an enemy. Contrary to what those other folks do that if you stay on here, you're going to hear about them tonight for sure. I haven't decided whether I'm going to call your name out or not, for sure. But it's good to see you. You're more than welcome in my house at any time, okay? Who else we got? Latoya, good to see you. All right. You got them dancing shoes on. Show you're right. Show you're right. All right, for sure. Yeah, well, we're going to kick it like that. Let me just prop this thing up here a little bit so I can get me a little leverage. Okay, a little leverage in the house. Yep. Yeah, good evening, everybody. It's the pastor. I'm in the house. I'm right here, right here. Man, Taisha, boy, I tell you, them folks, they don't want the voice of the people inside of the school board meetings, That's for sure. And just like you said, folks that look just like you and I, been put in that place, them token folks who ain't talking for the folks that they look like. And they representing everything else. And them other folks that don't look like us sit there and say, well, we good because they are, them token ones, they say it's all right. So it must be all right, even though they're doing what they were told to do. For sure. So we need to get ready. We need to get ready to make our move up to Colleton County, to Walterboro, We need to be standing with Deanna Miller-Berry and the fight for Denmark. So proud of the work she's doing right there, which is the craziest thing that I've heard of, is to have to fight to get water for people, clean water for people. The water source is poisoned, and it's been that way for a decade, and they still have not fixed the problem. And so they have pallets of water that they take in for the people. The people are using bottled water to shower or to wash off with, to cook with, to wash their clothes with. They're using bottled water, and they've been doing this. And the mayor and the city council and them, and they set them up like that, and that's in Denmark, South Carolina, right around the corner from here. Everything's right around the corner from here. Regina, what's going on? All righty. Well, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Let me just stop right here. I appreciate everybody that reached out yesterday to give a shout out to me on my birthday. It was amazing. It was amazing. I had 2 separate posts, and I didn't expect, first off, I had my regular page and I had another page. I changed my profile picture, and folks just started in under there with the birthday wishes. I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of love that I got from our community, and especially as I look at other people who were, and we're going to talk about it tonight, who were on another thread, the Live 5 thread, dealing with the 2 officers in Compton that were ambushed. 2 officers that I immediately, when I saw that, put it on my pages that this is not the way that we do business. That's not what we do. We're not out here trying to kill police. That's crazy. That's crazy. We need to be figuring out ways to work together. We need to, wherever our shortcomings are on either side of the fence, we need to look at them honestly and then come together and figure out how we work together. We're never going to get anywhere working at ours like that. And ambushing people, that's crazy. So I put that on my page. I think this happened on Saturday night. And that morning when I saw it, like 6 o'clock in the morning, I was posting up on all of my pages about, no, that's not the way we do stuff. That's not the way we do stuff, for sure. So, Eric, make sure you take that message back to them other fools over there. And yeah, the pastor calling people fools tonight, because I'm gonna keep it lighthearted, but I'm a little ticked off, for sure, about the conversations that I saw yesterday. Elizabeth, good to see you. Good to see you. No, stressed by it. I'm good. I get a little bit upset, but I'm not stressed by it for sure. Because first off, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I done been in situations. I was born and raised in the projects, Elizabeth. Projects of Chicago. Man, I was raised with stress for sure. I was a dope addict for 30 years. Stress ain't nothing new to me, So. I'm just about being about that life, about changing lives and everything. So, but it is disheartening. And I guess that's a better word for it. It is disheartening. Let me drop these glasses, okay? So folks can see my eyes, make sure I ain't playing with nobody. But it is disheartening, though, when you see people who intentionally lie, who develop stories that they believe themselves, even though they know that they're lying. I don't understand people like that. That's different. That's real different. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. And we're going to talk about those tonight. Dwayne, what's going on? How you doing, brother? Good evening. Good evening. Yeah. You're right. Hateful jerks. I know. I saw what they did to you. I saw how they bullied you. I mean, a bunch of men bullying a woman. Yeah, what kind? Well, excuse me, I said a bunch of men, but I don't call males who bully women men, because men don't bully women, for sure. And I don't care whether it's on social media, in person, or whatever. No, men uplift women. And if there's situations where women might offend a man, then a real man will walk away before they get involved in anything like that. That's what real men do, for sure. Not bully them, which I've seen them do. So let me get started quickly by talking about coronavirus, because coronavirus is still here, folks. It is still here, and it's killing folks, at a heck of a clip. And I just say what I say, and I've never said this to scare anybody. I've said it just for your own information. You make the call. You make the call yourself. Make the right call, because I've seen people who've gone to these parties and everything and whatever, and they wound up getting interviewed before they passed away, for sure. The last words was, "I shouldn't have went," for sure. Oh, man, that's the pastor been called dope. I'm down for sure. I love it. D, what's happening? How you doing? All righty. No, Deborah, they're not men. They're not men. And we gonna see about some of them. I'm not gonna call them any strange names or anything like that. Jeff, what's going on? All righty. Jeff, I got to speak the truth, for sure. And I thank you for all the support that you've been over the years, for sure. You and so many other people. It's just, I'm overwhelmed. Especially coming from a background where I came from. And I've said this before, I'm humbled. I'm humbled by it, and that's why I don't deal with pretension, and I'm not into lying and all that stuff. And if you got to lie to win, you might as well run for president, 4 years ago, I'm gonna leave that right there though. But if you got to lie and cheat, especially we got a leader right now of the greatest nation in the world. And he's documented in less than 4 years over 20,000 lies in office. And this last set of lies has actually cost people lives. I mean, in the United States, we're like 195,000 dead because of coronavirus. Since January? Come on, folks. South Carolina, and we got a governor who just ignored the science, who hasn't, didn't look at the science and at least look at what was happening elsewhere and say, maybe we do need to put some precautions in place that might stem this. So we might, if we do get hit, we won't get hit as bad. He didn't listen. And because of that, we did get a late start. Our first death in South Carolina was on March the 16th. And we didn't have it that bad for the first, a little over 3 months, 106 days, which 106 days from March 16th was June 30th, the last day in June. In that period of time, from March 16th to June 30th, we had 735 deaths attributed to coronavirus, 106 days. From July 1st until today, that's 77 days. Whereas in those first 106 days, we had 735. In these last 77 days, we've had over 2,200 deaths. We went from 735 deaths in 106 days to over 2,208 deaths since July 1st, 77 days. And they keep saying it's getting better. They keep saying that we should open up. Let's open up the schools and everything. They're saying it's getting better. The one thing that I do realize, and that I just don't get it when it comes to our governor, many of our city officials, some of our city council people who, for some reason or other, they think they're in control. Our president that thinks he's in control. The reality is right now in America, guess who's in control? That Rona. That Rona is in control. The coronavirus is in control. The coronavirus is going to tell us just how long we have to stay at home, just exactly when we can get out and get out safely, when our children will be safe at school, when they'll have teachers that stay in class and not get sick. The coronavirus is going to tell us everything. The coronavirus is going to tell us whether they're going to give another stimulus package out, which was a revelation for this country especially the Republican part of this country, that has denied an increase in minimum wage because they didn't deem people who, as they say, flip burgers or hotel workers as being essential people. And now we've learned who the essential people are. Those people that go to Walmart every day to make sure that people get waited on in there, and people that do run fast food restaurants now, and all these different, very essential people. The same people that weren't essential enough to give them more than $7.25 an hour for the last 15 years. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, I said it, the Republicans. Why? Because the majority of the Congress in the House of Representatives and the Senate for quite a little while have been the majority Republicans. 2 years ago, we took the House of Representatives in Congress, and we have a Democratic-led House of Representatives, but we still have a Republican Senate. And that's why we can't get anything passed. Bring it down a little further. Bring it down to South Carolina. We have a Republican House and Senate. 2/3 majority, House and Senate. And you wonder why we last in everything we should be first in, and first in everything we should be last in. Poverty out the roof, gun violence out the roof, domestic violence out the roof, education, we the worst in the nation, you know, because the people that are in power, those 2/3 majority that just happens to be Republicans, are not doing what's needed in order to make sure that people thrive and prosper in a state that says, while I breathe, I hope. There's a whole lot of people in South Carolina stopped breathing a long time ago. Get your foot off my neck. We'll drop that right there. Get your foot off my neck, you know, for sure. But that's the stats. That's where coronavirus is in South Carolina. Nationally, 195,000 dead. And people will talk about the overall numbers, the population numbers in the United States. And I know that's it's a small amount that have died because of coronavirus. But if one of your loved ones died because of coronavirus, it's not that small of a deal. Your granny, spouse, wife, husband, child, your baby died because of coronavirus, and somebody else is going to say, well, it's not that many people died, you know. That's because the person that says that never had anybody really closer to them, and they don't have empathy in their hearts for others, the pain that others are going through, because they just don't care. And that's why we, you know, like our good president said, you know, it is what it is. 195,000 dead. It is what it is. I'm totally nonviolent. Y'all know that. But sometimes it well up in you to just slap the heck out of somebody. I'm sorry, I just said it, you know, because that's crazy. It is what it is. Come on, dude. You just don't care, huh? Nope. For sure. He's having a pop-up rally in Savannah tomorrow. Well, I'm glad I got out of Savannah on Sunday then. For sure. Stupid is as stupid does, you know. But to those who support him, more power to you. Fortunately, this is the land of the free. Well, I can't say that. This is America, so you can do that. You can worship that leader, you know, or whatever, you know. So they can have that pop-up rally, you know. I pray that Rona won't set in on them, you know, and that, you know, none of them will get sick from it, you know. But that's their choice. That's their choice. You know, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's too much evidence of insanity for me to say I'm going to follow behind him. That's for sure. What's up, Sharia? Debbie, how you doing? All right, good to see y'all. I can't do it. Wait a minute. What did it say? It would be a shame if we all ordered tickets. You got to have a ticket to go to the rally? What? What? I'm going to leave that alone. I don't want to talk about him tonight. I got enough of people I'm sure these folks support him. I'm sure they do. That I'm going to talk about tonight. And I'm talking about tonight racist and racism. I'm going to be talking about the KKK versus Black Lives Matters. Who are the real terrorists? I'm going to talk about that in the closing. But up until that point, I'm going to talk about some folks that, you know, for a while, especially one in particular, they just seem to, you know, like to key in on me. They've labeled me as the head terrorist here in this area. You know, Pastor Dixon, the head terrorist in the area. You know, I'm going to read directly from their social media posts. You see, I printed them out. directly from their social media posts. So I'm not making nothing up. I can take you right to where it's at. And to make it so good, they made these posts on and they do this. They made it on Live 5's post. So Live 5 ain't censoring them, ain't getting ready to delete them or nothing. So they're right there. Anybody who wants to look and see what I'm saying, and you can look for yourself, you know. But these people, strangest group of folk I've ever seen in my life. They lie, they invent stuff up, they make themselves believe the lie, and then they try to sell this lie to other people. It's crazy. And I want y'all to hear the lies tonight. Starting with this one dude, I guess he's got this personal thing. He keeps tagging me on stuff too, and I don't respond to him because I don't, you know, he's only big in his own eyes. He's not big in my eyes. I don't really care. I never seen him before. Don't know him. Wouldn't know him if I tripped over him. But his name is Randall, and excuse me if I get the last name wrong, Horace. Okay. Horace, Horres, Randall Horace, okay? And I'm putting it out there like that because his name is all over Facebook and everything. You go to Live 5, his name right there. I'm not inventing this stuff. Randall Horace. It might be Whores, I don't know. Okay? Please, if I'm missaying his name, you know, if somebody want to tag him, I'm good with that. Share it to his page. Share this to his page. But the post was about the two officers who were ambushed. And man, did you see the video that was released today about how the one officer, I think the female officer who was shot, each one of them was shot multiple times. And the female was actually shot in her face, and she was actually moving her partner to a place to shield him as she was shot herself while she was still shot. Man. They don't make enough medals. Man, shout out to her. Shout out to that level of bravery for sure. You know, contrary to what anybody says, yes, I support law enforcement. That's right. I don't support bad cops at all. And the police officers, the law enforcement officers that I know, they don't support bad cops either. That's for sure. Shout out to my good friends, okay? But this guy, Randall Horace, here's what he wrote, okay? And I don't know where it came from, because this is a whole thread of people just commenting or whatever, and he just went to his usual thing. I could have printed out 10 or 15 more screenshots that I've got of different comments over the last few weeks that he's made about me. But this was just from yesterday, okay? He wrote, when you have people spewing hate, anger, and division, this is what you get. Ignorant race baiters like Thomas Dixon try so hard to create this environment here in Charleston. No police, no peace. This is what he wrote. If I could put it on the screen or whatever, it's right there. It's right there. Ignorant race baiters like Thomas Dixon try so hard to create this environment here in Charleston. In other words, the environment that led to the ambush of these law enforcement officers. That's his insinuation. Okay, no police, no peace. And somebody who I don't even know, his name is Axton, right? He came on right behind that and he made a comment. He said, Randall Horace, why would you create controversy by degrading a man you never met? Reverend Thomas Dixon has a history of working with law enforcement regarding community issues. Are you intentionally trying to spread propaganda like some cyber bot? Are you a bot, Randall? And remember, I said that this isn't the first time he's done that. He's many times, okay? And I got the screenshots. As Elvin Spade says, I got the receipts, okay? And then he asked him, he said, Randall, when did you last meet with area law enforcement leaders to plan or organize community outreach? And Randall Horace, he responded, Axton. ROTFLMAO. Y'all know what the initials mean, okay? You should be a comedian. Obviously, you do not know him. He tells the guy that defended me that obviously you don't know him, or you know him and you're just trying to cover for him. You see the two officers murdered in Compton, execution style. Them two officers survived. First off, they weren't murdered, okay? And then he goes on and says, It is because of hate-spewing race baiters like Dixon. What is this dude trying to send a message to somebody that I'm stirring up people to do things like that? Is that what he's doing? It seems like that to me. Then he tells him, because Lagree Axton says, what do you say? You're degrading a man you've never met. Randall Horace says, I have met with him. I ain't never met this dude. That's a bold-faced lie. I ain't never met him. Anywhere. I would know him if I tripped over him. Straight up. He said, and I got it underlined, I have met with him and I have seen the hate he is encouraging as well as the violence. He has met with me and seen the hate and the violence that I'm encouraging. Wow. That's pretty deep, isn't it? That is really deep. That I'm in the hate and the violence that I'm encouraging. And then he goes on, he says, it's only mine and my friends' opinions, but there is a special place in hell for Dixon. And then he tags his friends on there. I guess he needs some backup now. He needs some backup. He tags Corey Allen. He tags Serena White. He tags Grange Simmons the third, Lucas. I don't know how you say his name. That's the same dude that said that I'm running young hookers, underage hookers, out of a nonprofit over on Azalea Drive. And I don't know what the heck he's talking about. These people are crazy. There's something really seriously wrong. He tagged Troy Potter, Janet King, Michael Inabinet. I think it's L Barber. And of course, he tagged Braxton D. Spivey, the head of the flaggers, the Flags Over the South. Now, he tagged all of them. All of them were tagged in there. I guess he called for back. That's his calling for backup on this post. He saw the one guy jump out there and drop some opposition to what he was saying. So I better get me a whole bunch of folks to come on in here now. Back me up. Y'all back me up now, for sure. So then Randall Horace comments again. He says, because Lagree Axton said, well, have you met with law enforcement? So he responds, he says, Lagree Axton, we meet constantly with law enforcement. As a member of concerned citizens, we met monthly until COVID, but still stay in touch with law enforcement, at least county. I want to make a note of that, at least county. Who is the county sheriff? That these people that are lying like that and talking this crazy mess about me, who are they meeting with? Sheriff Al Cannon, right? I don't know if Kristen Graziano is on here, but I tell you what, she's running against Al Cannon right now. And if Al Cannon is the champion for these people that I'm talking about, he need to go. He need to go. Straight up. Let's not play with this. Let's make sure we get to the polls, and let's make sure we flip this thing around, because these people are dangerous. Okay, for sure. They're dangerous. What I'm reading right here, I'm reading verbatim. I have not changed any script. I haven't added anything or taken anything away. I'm reading, and I'll give you the link, or you can go to the Live 5 thing, and go read it for yourself. It's right there. Okay. Yeah, Elizabeth, they love her. They love her. Yeah. And good to see that Tyler Bessinger's on here too. Good. Because, let the racists come on out. It's all good. I'm not trying to cotton up to you, for sure. If you want to repent, well and good. But it goes on and says, but still stay in touch with law enforcement, at least county. Under Luther Reynolds, the city of Charleston Police Department has completely collapsed. So Braxton Spivey chimes in now. Okay, remember he called for backup. Braxton, I guess he's talking about me. And Randall Horace, he has a seat specifically for him. I think he's talking about me. Okay. And this L Barber, she chimes in too. She says, a personal place in hell for Thomas Dixon. And then after that, some guy named Tim Squire, he comes on. Okay. Tim Squire, this guy here, he chimes in on the bandwagon with Randall. I don't know how to say his last name, Juarez or something like that, Horres. And he says, After the Emmanuel AME church shootings, I went to many public prayer meetings. One at Marion Square was organized by Dixon. It was all so nice, and he said there would be more unity events, even another unity gathering the following week, same time, same place. Before the next time, Thomas Dixon was in D.C. getting political, not spiritual. That prayer meeting never happened. And instead of peace and unity, he is interested in division. Well, Tim said a whole lot about me. He said a whole lot right there about me, you know. But Tim, Mr. Squire, let me just tell you about some of the things I did. As a matter of fact, right before Mother Emanuel, I organized a event over on WAGMA Law Island at the Senior Citizen Center. It was a joint event between law enforcement agencies with Charleston County, Berkeley County, and Dorchester County that came together with the community aimed at addressing our young people and how we were going to raise them up to begin to not only respect the police, but want to be a part of the police department. It was called WAGMA Law John's Island Stand Against Violence Everywhere. SAVE, it's SAVE, February 21st, 2015. Now, I'm going to tell you, all these things that I'm getting ready to tell you about, you can go right to my Facebook page. Under photos, go to the albums, and you scroll down, and you will see the actual albums that I'm talking about right there. The pictures and everything. Police officers, community people working together, talking together. I've got officers that come to me and ask me right now, when you going to do that again so we can get back together and try to work that out again? You know, I don't know what this dude is talking about. That was February 21st, 2015. That was 2 months before, a month and a half before Walter Scott, and 4 months before Mother Emanuel. Okay, and I was doing things before then. Okay, but then we did have Walter Scott. We did have Mother Emanuel. Okay, and yes, I think that the event that Tim Squire is talking about was on July 3rd. Mother Emanuel was on June 17th. I think the one that he might have attended, if he really did attend one. I don't even know if he really attended one. I wouldn't know him either. But I did organize the Low Country Praise, and that was on July 3rd, 2015. Okay. And there were other prayer vigils that I organized, but, you know, maybe he just didn't make them. I don't know. But then maybe he could have made the Days of Grace that we put together, that I was instrumental in putting together. Days of Grace was September 5th. I think it was the 4th and the 5th of 2015. 2 days of actual prayer, speakers tied in with the Mother Emanuel Church and everything, addressing the issue of not only racism, but the grace that it's going to take to eliminate racism. Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know, but that was 2015, and I'm going to give you a short list because you can go to my page and you can see all of the other things in my photos and the albums, all the other things that have, by the mouth of Pastor Dixon, you know, come to pass. I organized the Live in Peace rally. Live in Peace, that was July 9th, 2016. A peaceful show of solidarity, not against law enforcement, but with law enforcement in the aftermath of Mike Brown, Alton Sterling, and Eric Garner. You know, come together. Let's pray. Let's pray. It was a prayer vigil, okay? I didn't organize this next one, though, but just to show you the diversity. He's talking, you know, this dude, he says that, you know, I'm all about, instead of peace and unity, I'm interested in division. But on March the 10th, 2017, I was in Columbia marching with the South Carolina Indian Affairs Commission, the Native Americans at the Native Nations March on Columbia, with my good friend, Chief of the Waccamaw Indian Tribe, Chief Buster Hatcher, and some of the other chiefs of the Native American tribes who I work with consistently. But I'm the one he's talking about, I cause division. I don't cause peace. I'm up here marching with the Native Americans, okay? I'm the one that organized the We Are Their Voices rally on the steps of the Customs House. Maybe about 300 people out there that day. And I'm sure that he wasn't there, neither was Braxton or any of those other people I named, this Randall Horace. Why? because it was about the abuse going on at our southern borders at the hands of our current president against immigrants. It was about saving DACA kids. And I know none of them came out there for him, but I'm the one that this dude says is interested in division. And I guarantee you wasn't not a one of them there, but I'm the one. I organized. I was one of the lead organizers and one of the first ones to push it in the aftermath of the Tree of Life synagogue shootings in Pittsburgh, where 11 Jewish people were killed at worship. I was one of the first ones to step up in organizing the Hate Won't Win rally, We Are America Strong, right in Marion Square. The Jewish nation coming together with everybody else, all of us standing in support of one another. Were they there? I don't believe they were. I don't believe they were. I ain't seen none of them Confederate flags out there. I don't believe they were. I organized the Only Love Conquers Hate rally. That was in the aftermath of the Christchurch, New Zealand murder of 49 Muslims. See, because I support Muslims. That was March 17th, 2019. Because I don't separate. My advocacy, if my advocacy is only for black people, then I'm wrong. I'm that person that they're talking about. And I guarantee you their advocacy is only for white people. These same people that I'm talking about, it's only for white people. But they say I'm the one causing division. I'm the one that's about hatred. Nope, none of that. None of that. I'm the one that's trying to bring people together. Every year, MLK Holiday, since 2014, we've had a rally in Marion Square based on the ideals and the principle that Dr. King, a man of peace, taught. Every year. Ain't seen none of them there. None of them there. Who organized that? Right there. Right there. And if he really was that concerned about it, he said he went to that one little prayer rally, right? Prayer. Every year on the same day that 9 people were murdered inside of Mother Emanuel by somebody that represented that same Confederate battle flag. Killed 9 people in church under the banner of that battle flag. Every year, myself, under my organizing efforts, we meet at that church at the same time that I couldn't say what I was getting ready to say. I had to bite that back. That guy went in Mother Emanuel and killed church people because of hate, racial hatred. And every year we meet there and we have prayer. Every year. So I don't know what this dude is talking about. If he really wanted to be a part of something, if he really wanted to know about me, he would know that what he's saying right there. And now maybe he knows he's lying. He knows that he's lying, okay? And I know the next time I'm going to make sure that I take you all to the guy, Corey Allen. He has this little blog called The Overton Report, because I know he's going to chop this up and everything and try to create something out of this that it's not. And I'll make sure that I'll tag all of you all on that so you all can just go in on him for sure, because he's a liar, and he's a liar from way back, and he creates situations on his little program, okay? The same as his forerunner used to do, Tyler Bessinger, for sure. Yep. Yeah, Tyler, I said it. Ain't nobody scared of you. That's for sure. So after Squire said that, okay, that's the abbreviated list, folks. Y'all please take time to go to my page sometime when you got a little while and just look at the albums that I have there of the different events. And they're all talking about working through issues, building bridges, coming together, living together, loving one another. Every last one of them. Ain't no hatred there. And ain't no pictures of no darn Confederate battle flags there either, because that's a symbol of racial hatred and slavery. Period. And for those that want to celebrate heritage through it, I'm good with that. Do that. But what you believe is heritage, I believe is hate. And I just want you to know that, Take it home. Take it home. You take it home on the battery, we'll take the Black Lives Matter flags home. We'll stop. When you stop, we'll stop. Fair? Okay, period. So after Tim Squire said that, Braxton Spivey, flags over the South, the head guy. Braxton is a really interesting guy. This guy, he dresses up like Robert E. Lee. He has his outfit everything in a hat like that. And I'm good with that. You know, some people, that's what they do. You know, he makes little statues, I think, of Robert E. Lee. And if that's his guy, great. More power to you. But don't try to make me believe what you believe or something like that, especially when I know it's a lie. You know, the Confederates lost the war, period. They were insurrectionists in their own nation. They rebelled against our nation, you know. So I can't celebrate that personally. And then we can look at the other side is the slavery issue, period. And that was the reason for the war, period. I'm not down with them lies and carrying on. And you see the lies that they like to put forth, and they believe their own lies. So Braxton chimes in, okay, now, Tim Squire, ordained in cell number 666. I guess he's talking about me. I was ordained in cell number 666. But I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up. And I know tomorrow I'm going to be all kind of names and everything, and the threats going to come and all of that, you know. But that's why everybody here knows what's happening now, okay? For sure. Right on, Tyler, for sure, you know. I like that. At least it's lighthearted, you know. And I'll never mean you any ill will either. I've never told anybody about harming you or nothing like that. I just don't know why you just can't keep things on the up and up, you know. But let's talk another time, for sure. In a public setting, though. Please, never set me up. So Braxton said, you know, ordained in cell number 666. So Randall chimes back in, right, on Tim Squire. He says, from what I have seen, he has been busy coaching hate for these sick freaks at the Battery that have been attacking elderly people out for a walk. Coaching these sick freaks, people who just like them are expressing their First Amendment rights, according to, I'd like that too, according to their own, you know, their own belief system that just happens to be contrary to what Randall Horace and Braxton Spivey believe in. It just happens to be different. Now, this thing about, and they have been attacking elderly people out for a walk. There was a situation that happened about 3 weeks ago down there when a guy, his name is Joe Shakati, I think that's his name. I'm sorry, I'm not good with these with the different names, okay? And I don't know Joe well enough to be able to, you know, to know how to actually pronounce his name, but I hope I got it right. Shakati. But this guy came to the Battery knowing that this was the week, first off, that the Movement for Black Lives supporters had their protest was on the side where the statue is, where flags over the South and they are usually at, have been out for years, as a matter of fact. This has just started, this alternating thing where the Movement for Black Lives supporters will come over to the statue and they, you know, we alternate sides. It's only fair. But this guy came out, he's an older fella, and he came out and he turned on his camera as he was walking down the street headed toward the statue where the Movement for Black Lives supporters were all at. Let me just say something about that right quick. The counter protesters on the Battery, people like to say they're Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. They're Black Lives Matter. The reality is there's a whole different set of groups that are there gathered together. And the smallest numbers of that group are people that are officially members of a Black Lives Matter organization. So this is the Movement for Black Lives. But when you're trying to make people into terrorists, you lump them all together. Okay? It's like if the flaggers down there, if I decided to call them the Klan, I think I did a message on this a while ago, because the Klan symbol was what? The Confederate battle flag, right? And they did stuff like, you know, these secret meetings and whatever, and they talk crazy and threaten people and bully people and all of that. So if I just decided to describe Braxton Spivey and all of those folks on that side as the Klan, instead of individually flags over the South and all of that, in order to make people think that they are worse than what they are, that's exactly what they're doing with the Movement for Black Lives, okay? By lumping everybody into Black Lives Matters and then defining the Black Lives Matters movement as a terrorist movement and a terrorist organization. So anybody that wears a mask that says Black Lives Matter, has a T-shirt that says it, or carries a flag, automatically, in their eyesight, you're a terrorist. This is real talk. This is real talk. So back at it, okay? This guy, this older guy, he has his camera out, right? I'm just using my little mouse, okay? Got the camera out, and he has it turned around as he's walking up toward where the counter protesters are, the Movement for Black Lives protesters are. Older white guy, right? And he walks up and then starts to talk to the protesters, who first thing, you know, their response was not good. No, their response were not good at all. It was a juvenile response that they gave back, but they got loud with him, and they, you know, said some things to him, and the young guy baited him. The old guy baited them. That's what he did, and they fell for the bait. And because of that, there's this kind of video that was his video that he sent over to, you know, the flaggers or whatever, and they did what they were going to do. And the Overton Report guy, he did what he's going to do. All of that's on those pages or whatever. And you can see those too. But the thing was, this guy baited them, and, you know, he kind of got what he did. And he made accusations about they threatened him and all. There wasn't no threats made or whatever. He really shouldn't have even done that. It was no, except for the fact that they wanted this video footage that my friends down there gave him. And yes, those are my friends. So you can twist that and turn that any kind of way. Those are my friends, okay? And I believe and I support the movement for Black Lives. And anybody who don't like it, well, they can kick rocks, straight up. I don't support the movement for the Confederate battle flag. I don't support that. But I do support the movement for Black Lives in America. But they took that video and they twisted it and everything. Now, I want to go back to what Randall Horace said. He says, these sick freaks at the Battery that have been attacking elderly people out for a walk. You see, that's inflammatory. That's inflammatory. That's him trying to make the situation worse than it was, because it's only that one guy, one time, and that was weeks ago, okay? Never happened again, never happened before. In over 3 years of counter-protesting down there, it never happened, okay? But all of a sudden now he says elderly people out there walking, they're being attacked on the Battery. And it wasn't no attack. It was some yelling, but it wasn't no attack. Nobody touched anybody. Law enforcement was there. You see what we're working with? You see what we're working with? It's crazy. It's crazy. And then he goes on to say, though, check this out. Y'all check this out. As far as I know, this is Randall Horace. As far as I know, Thomas Dixon has been ostracized and blacklisted by any real community leaders. This is so crazy, it's funny. This is what I hear from the community leaders I know and what they have told me. This dude is delusional. He's crazy. Randall, good to see you. He's on right now. He's delusional. He said, this is what I hear from the community leaders I know and what they have told me. The only leaders he's probably heard say that is the people at the same circles that he's in. The exact same circles that he's in. For sure. Please, Randall, let me just ask you something, okay? On my posts, I don't allow no profanity. So please don't do that. I'm just asking you, nicely not to do that, okay? If it's profanity, because I don't want to have to come back and take your posts away. For real. But if it's any profanity, anybody on here will tell you that I don't do profanity on my pages or on my posts. So please just respect that, okay? And rise up to my level, because I'm not going to stoop to yours. All right. So now let me get back to where I was at. So according to Randall, I've been ostracized and blacklisted by any real community leaders, by the real community leaders. OK. And so Braxton chimes on in. He says, Randall, every time he has shown his presence at the Battery, someone has been arrested, monument has been desecrated, etc. Where did they get this stuff at? I haven't been there when anybody was arrested or when the statue was desecrated. I was there one time when there was some red paint thrown on it. And this was after the protest was over, right? And I was sitting in my car doing something as far as on Facebook or something like that before I left from the area. And the person that threw the stuff on the paint, I looked over, I'm like, what the heck going on? You know, I didn't know nothing about that, you know, for sure. But Braxton Spivey, see, this is that same exaggeration. This is what they do in order to fire themselves up and then hopefully to fire up other people out here who might even have intentions on harming somebody, okay? And this is just setting it out. This is setting it out. Yep. Look here. I have control, Randall, let me just get this straight. I have control of the content on my pages, but I don't have control over people's mouths on the battery. People say what they want to in public spaces, just like you do what you want to in public spaces. But you're on my pages, and I don't want to hear that First Amendment garbage on my page because Facebook has set up protocols in place in order to make sure that if you don't want something on your pages, that there's something you can do about it. Okay, so please, just respect. That's all. Don't make any excuses about it. Just don't make any excuses about it. Don't get mad, you know, for sure. So Spivey, like I said, he said that every time I show up, my presence is at the battery. Someone has been arrested, monument has been desecrated, etc. That's a lie. That's another lie. So somebody by the name of Zebra Freak Michelle Dukes countered Randall when he said, remember he said that the two officers were murdered, right? He said that. He wrote that. And this person said they are not, they are alive, not dead. And I guess Braxton, he was trying to reach out to somebody. I think it was somebody that was commenting, this Michael Inhabitant, but his comments weren't showing up on the thread. Okay. But Braxton says Michael Inhabitant and red scarf. Don't forget the scarf. So they're definitely talking about me. And then they started as a little conversation about, I think, Chief Reynolds. Some guy named Danny. Danny says the wrath of all police will be unleashed. I don't even know what that's about. And then Randall decides to address the Michelle Dukes, what she said about nobody died. You know, Randall says, Michelle Dukes said they are alive, not dead. And so Randall says that, said execution style shooting. Their blood is on execution. Basically, he's saying that he didn't say murder, even though it's definitely typed up in that other earlier part of the post about murder. But he says that execution style shooting. I guess he forgot he said murder. And then he says their blood is on intolerant bigots like Thomas Dixon. Listen to all these people condemning Dixon. All these people. I think I've named about 4 names on here, right? 4 or 5 names on here. All these people condemning Dixon. He's not, let me flip this. He goes, okay, after saying about the intolerant bigot, Thomas Dixon, listen to all these people condemning Dixon. He's not respected. I want y'all to pay close attention to this, okay? He's not respected. He's not liked. He is not welcome or wanted. He is an embarrassment, a black eye on the black and white community. Y'all want me to read that again? Y'all want me to read that again? I'll read it again. This is how he described me. He is not respected. He is not liked. He is not welcome or wanted. He is an embarrassment, a black eye on the black and white community. And he got 1 thumbs up and 1 heart on that, okay? Well, yesterday on 2 posts, 1 post I got over 400 people who wished me well, and they took time out to comment about they appreciate the work I've done out here. On the other post, I got just under 400 of them. And those things, I guess they call them stuffies or whatever. I got a slew of them. But this guy, in his mind, and trying to push forth the agenda that he wants to push forth, that actually given a weak-minded person might just take this. And I think that's really what he's trying to do, to get somebody who really might believe this garbage that he's putting out here, this trash, these lies, because that's all it is lies. Somebody that will believe it and then act upon it. Oh, I got somebody looking into this for sure. And if the legal issues pan out, stand by. Stand by, for sure, to the fullest extent of the law. So then one of the young ladies that was tagged there, after he said all of that, she chimed in, I guess answering to Braxton Spivey. Indeed is very true. I guess talking about what Spivey said about me. And then she said for the inhabitant guy to call her. This girl, Serena Wright, this young lady, excuse me, that was inappropriate. This young lady, Serena Wright, it's really amazing because, you know, at one point, I got a screenshot of her telling somebody that I hate her. And she's the same person that I had conversations with months ago that went from her thinking that, you know, that I'm this crazy person or whatever, that hated or whatever, to us parting company friends, you know. She said, you know, the last line was, "You good." I got screenshots of that too. "You good, you good." And so all of a sudden now, I guess to fit in with the group, now she goes to tell somebody that I hate her. And so I brought it back and I asked her in a private, you know, what do you mean? You know, what have I done that changed from before that now you tell somebody that I hate you, you know? And we had a little conversation. And at the end was just like the first time. "You good. I know you really are a good guy." But when they get in these circles and they stoke this mess up amongst themselves, man, and it's insane. It's insane. So Michelle Duke, she commented back to Randall. She said, "But you clearly said 2 cops murdered in Compton and they aren't dead. Y'all need to condemn Trump." Randall never did clear that up. He never did say, "Yeah, I messed up. I shouldn't have said murdered." He never did. And that's what liars do. They hold on to it. That's what Donald Trump does. He holds on to it, you know, for sure. Yeah, post it on up. Post up over the video. Here's what Overton did with me, and he chopped up stuff trying to invent stuff. Y'all know how propaganda works. That's what he do. Yeah. But let me go back to finish this whole thing up, okay? So he never did go back and say, you know, I did mess up and just, you know, I shouldn't have said murdered because they really weren't dead. Okay, he never did. And that's what liars do. That's exactly what liars do. So then he closed by going back to the guy that first stood up to defend me by saying to him, "Legree Thaxton, educate yourself before stepping out on a public forum so you do not look so ignorant and uneducated." He told this other guy that stood up for me, educate yourself so you don't look so ignorant and uneducated. You want to support a good man, an honorable man, and a true leader in the community? Support Elvin Spates Sr. And it's Spates for all of y'all that don't know him. It's Spates, not Spites. It's Spates, okay? Do not waste time on Thomas Dixon. You will end up looking like a fool, okay? And I'm glad to see that he hung on this time, okay? Because maybe from this, maybe with the truth being shared out here, maybe, you know, he will do like I've asked several members of that organization to do, and that's to let's just sit down, you know, without pretension, without ill feelings. But Jason, that ain't nice. Without ill feelings and nothing like that, and let's reason together. Let's talk this out. Let's have a conversation. I've put that out to several people. I put it out to Alan Dobson. You know, I put it out to others. To Tyler on here. I just said it to him because I'm not into all of this contention, but I'm definitely, I can't do anything but call what's being done. And I thank you for posting that video for sure, Randall. Now folks on my they don't even have to go looking for it. They can look for themselves. The video is right here. The video is right here. And they can watch and see just how the propaganda, how the spin is being done through Corey Allen's Overton report, you know, for sure. I'm not going to get into that past, you know, Corey, that's all right. I got a past too. But it's just amazing, you know, and it's really amazing how when I change the narrative, when I talk to the team, y'all start to say what you want. My team, okay, those folks I rock with, the folks that represent the movement for Black Lives. Yep, my team. I'm a team player, that's for sure. Don't like it, that's your business, okay? That's my right. That's my right as an American citizen. whose ancestors built this country and didn't get paid a dime for doing so, for sure. And you all still profiting off of it, okay? But the reality is that when I stop, look at how that whole thread went, okay? There's everything there, you know. Most of the time they operate in these secret little chat rooms or whatever. And they have these conversations where they can lie and then support each other's lies and slap five and maybe drink some beer or something like that over it. But then when it comes time to address issues out here, what do? They don't do it just in a dialogue or anything like that. They bully. They use foul language and profanity, even though they want to stand down on the battery and talk about others, you know. See, they're jumping on the hill the way that they thought they was going to jump on here and bully. And it's not working. Them lies ain't working on here because good people know the truth and good people will stand up for the truth. And now they know the truth about these folks that we're talking about. Now, they got angry because a few weeks ago, the conversation shifted and we started saying, okay, if you want to act like a terrorist organization, because that's what they do. There's a woman on here who they bullied. I said it earlier, a woman who they bullied on here online. Cyber terrorists, you know. And because they did that, right? Now, and then they operate in these secret rooms and everything, and then they carry the Confederate battle flag. To me, they resemble the KKK. Straight up. So when I started calling them the KKK, because they claim that everybody that is part of the movement for Black Lives is a part of a terrorist organization, and there's nothing to tie the Black Lives Matter organization to terrorism except for the propaganda that their people have written up, which is just as much lies as what I just went over. All of this, just as much lies. So they make the movement for Black Lives seem like a terrorist organization when it's not. But they get angry when I say, okay, you represent the Confederate battle flag. So did the Klan. You believe in these covert actions. So did the Klan. You believe in bullying people. So did the Klan. So I'm going to call you the Klan. And I'm going to call Braxton the Grand Wizard. So, or Grand Dragon or whatever it is. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it. And instead of saying, yeah, well, Dixon, I get it. And I'm not even going to say, call me pastor. I don't care. Okay? That's a title. Instead of just saying, you know, yeah, well, I get it. You know, I get it. You know, we kind of been off track on that. And then walk that back and started addressing us as who we are. The movement for Black Lives. Or even saying Black Lives Matter, understanding that it's not a terrorist organization. But no, instead of that, they get mad. They get mad. It don't make sense to me. None of us go to them with all of this. None of them. Mm-hmm. Eric, don't take it personal. If you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Don't take it personal. For sure. These people that I just read, I didn't write none of that. I didn't invent none of it. I can take you directly to the Facebook page because Live 5 does not delete their posts. And they're right there. Okay? So, you know, I'm telling you the truth. And if you want to continue to be associated with that, then that's on you. But it would be better if you have that great of a heart, Eric Corcoran. If you have that great of a heart to make change, then I would suggest that you get into little secret organizations and then begin to tell them to stop doing that. Respect other people if they want respect. They steady got a problem with how the counter protesters present themselves. But then they can do this. It can a stack of lies. Stack of lies. See, that's what hypocrites do. That's exactly what hypocrites do. And that's why I decided to point this out tonight. I know it's not popular, and I really don't mean to hurt anybody. I say what I say so that people might just look at themselves and then make the change, because they lied heavily about me in here. Eric, if you really want to see something, my pages are all open to the public. I have no private pages. Them people have private pages. I don't have anything to hide. Go to my Facebook page, Eric, and look at all of the people that rang in for my birthday yesterday and see the compliments that they made. See where the police, right? The police, chief of police and others who are on Facebook, where they came in and they said that they appreciate the work that I do and how I work along with them. You see, I don't have to lie. I don't have to lie. And I don't have to be secretive about what I do because I don't lie. My life is an open book. When it came time to my prison time, when it came time to my 30 years of addiction that I've been free from since 2001 and building the sense of community since then, I laid it out. Ain't nobody have to dig that up about me like they did with Corey. I laid it out. It'd been better for Corey if he just said, yeah, I got locked up a little while. I had a drug problem. It'd have been better if he'd have done that, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that. See, but you want to demonize the one that's up front. And I'm not talking about you, Eric, specifically. I'm talking about the others, you know. When I asked him to respect my page and not curse, then he got issue with that. But this is my page. You set rules on your page, I set rules on my page. The one rule that I don't do is make my pages private so I can sneak around and lie and connive with nobody. I'm straight up. And I tell you to your face just how I feel about it, you know. And I'll also say that I will sit down with anybody over coffee, tea, or a root beer float and reason together, as long as you come in peace and you come respecting the fact that we can agree to disagree without becoming disagreeable. I will sit with Braxton. I will sit with Corey. I will sit with Tyler. I will sit with Alan. I will sit with you. I will sit with Miss White. I will sit with any of you. As long as you come in peace and you come with respect and you understand that in the end, we can agree to disagree without becoming disagreeable, and that does not make us enemies. You know, it's sad, Eric, that you're not listening. Steady typing, okay? Steady typing. I hope that you listen later on at another time or something like that to this broadcast, because there's a lot of truth in here that might help you out, Eric, for sure. Unless you don't want to. If you don't want to know the truth, don't listen. If you don't want to know the truth, then the next time, you know, do like the rest of them do and then watch the broadcast later or something like that. But I figured I was going to get some folks online like this tonight. I told folks here to tag folks, you know, the part of that team. Tag them, you know, because they need to hear it. I appreciate that, Eric. I appreciate that. And that offer stands. Okay, that offer stands. But I ain't, you know, I've been out in this world a long time. I got 30 years of street in me. Actually longer than that. I got 30 years after the age of 16. So I got 46 years of street in me. And I ain't gonna let nobody set me up either. All right, that's for sure. But I'm definitely willing to sit down and reason with anybody as long as we come in peace, as long as there's respect, it's a respectful conversation. And as long as we agree that we can agree to disagree without becoming disagreeable. If we come in peace and we leave in peace and we've had a communication, a dialogue, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And that offer stands. That offer stands. Okay. Wow. I'm a career criminal pretending to be a preacher. Career criminal. There we go. Walter Barnes. There we go. That's a good one. Spewing hate speech and dividing our people instead of, you see what I'm talking about, folks? You see exactly what I'm talking about? A career criminal. I've been out of prison since 2001. I had one traffic violation in the last 19 years. And I took care of that quickly. One traffic violation. So if I'm a career criminal, that's crazy. No, Randall, she not lying. I saw the post. I was watching the post as y'all was making it. Y'all tried to bully her. Y'all tried to bully her for sure. Yep. And so don't do it now. Don't do it now. You're doing, the police are going to be right involved in that, for sure. Stop that cyber terrorism, you know, bullying your own household. I told her, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. You see, that's that craziness. That's that craziness. He posted up about I'm a career criminal. Wow. I was a career drug addict until 2001. you know, and I did things as a drug addict, just like Corey said, exactly like Corey said, that I'm not proud of. Well, Corey said he had no regrets on it. I said, I'm not proud of it, okay? But I learned a lot. But I've been out of prison since 2001, and that's 19 years ago, and I had one traffic violation. I bet that guy that just said that he got a worse record than me, so we call him a career criminal. See, that's that foolishness. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, okay? For sure. But I'm going to drop it right there. I'm going to drop it like it's hot. I want everybody on here to know, because I know that some of the others are still here. Yeah, are still here. And I just want everybody to know that there's a way that we can all work together. Y'all, please, don't type no more, Randall. Don't type no more, Eric, please. Y'all just let it go for a few minutes. And whoever else that other guy that just made the comment. There's a way that we can all work together, okay? And it's just a matter of respect, okay? I hate that when it comes to the Confederate battle flag, that I have to, something inside of me takes me to a period in history where my ancestors were abused, and that abuse continues to today. I hate that. I wish it was a different way, but it's reality for me, and my reality doesn't have to coincide with your opinion. You believe in heritage, and you have every right to believe in heritage, okay? You have every right to believe that flag stands for heritage. But the way that we get along together is if what you are doing is an offense to someone else, then we try our best not to be offensive to one another. If you want the Black Lives Matters flags to go away, take the Confederate flag away. It's just that simple. Take it home. We'll take ours home if you take yours home. Period. Period. You know? And, you know, see, when folks should be listening, they're not. But the reality is, though, folks, for all of not only my folks here, but for Eric and whomever is on here, I want you all to understand that we were not born to have these type of conflicts, none of us. To have to feel as if we are in opposition to one another. We're all human beings together, every last one of us. And to get up angry and mad with each other, that's not what we were created to do. That's not how God made us. We were made to coexist in this world. And by coexisting, that means that because you're different, that doesn't make us enemies. But until you understand real love, and that's why I can say what I say and do what I do, because I actually love you all. Everybody that's talking bad about me, I love y'all. And I'll never say anything, do anything wrong to you. That's not what I do. And I'm glad you really had a chance. Every last one of y'all had a chance to really get to know me tonight. And when it comes to those who work along with me, everybody's not where I'm at. Just like with your group, everybody's not where you're at. For sure. It's a process. But we're all learning, and we're learning together. And if we all have that patience, if we all have compassion for one another, if we all understand that each one of us are the learned experiences, our individual learned experience, we're the result of that. And that what hurts one person might not necessarily hurt the next person. But if that person tells me it hurts, it's on me to make sure that I'm not inflicting any more pain on that person. Like you don't like me to call you the KKK or to call Spivey the Grand Dragon or the Grand Wizard. I don't really delight in that. And if it's hurting you, I don't have any problem not doing that. But don't label me no terrorist, and I'm not, and you know better. Don't try to make an exception for what you're doing, but you won't make exception for others. It doesn't work that way. And the reality is each one of us has the ability to get beyond all of this if we just simply do what the scripture says, and that's to love one another in the way that we love each other, period. And that's why I can unequivocally say, without any kind of lies or anything like that, that I love you all. I love my friends, I love my family, and I love my frenemies. You ain't got to like me. The scripture says, in as much as it lies in me to live peaceable with everyone. Not what you do, it's what I do. So I just hope that you got a lesson out of this. I hope that my good friends that are on here, there's a lesson in there for them. There's a lesson in this for me. And we're all learning and we're evolving. And if we're not evolving together, if we're not learning together, if we're not growing together, then we're going to perish together. It's just that simple. I believe in Dr. King, his message. I believe him when he said that, hate is too big a burden to bear. I'm choosing love. And that's what I do. I choose love. All them lies that y'all spreading about me, that dude Walter, whatever his name, Randall, all them lies, that ain't me. Look at my page. Eric, go to my page, please, and look at it. See what the people say. And people ain't lying. They're telling you about the body of work that I put in for the last 19 years when I came out of the prison system. Good work, helping people, trying to build bridges, working with law enforcement, not against law enforcement, bringing law enforcement. And there are law enforcement officers that will tell you exactly the same thing I'm saying. So stop that. And if you're wrong about me, you're probably wrong about everything else that you've been talking about when it comes to black folk. Come now, let's reason together over coffee, tea, or a root beer float. And I've definitely gone longer than my time limit tonight, but I think it was necessary. So, folks, man, I love y'all. Please consider the fact that this virus is really, it's doing its thing, okay? Remember, in the first 106 days, there were 735 deaths. In the last 77 days, there were over 2,200 deaths, okay? It's doing its thing. Wash your hands. Follow the protocols. If you got to go out, wear a mask, please, if you're going to be around people, And, of course, that's your choice for all of my friends from the Flagger side. That's your choice, okay? But I'm encouraging all of those who are my friends to please protect yourself, because ain't nobody going to protect you like you, all right? And in the end, no matter which way it goes, I know I have a mixture of people on this thread tonight, a mixture of people that are on either side of either the high wall or the defender statue, regardless of which group they represent. They're all on here tonight. And I want you all to know, every last one of you to know, that I love you all. And no matter what you say or do, there's absolutely nothing that you can do about that. I love you. All right. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Thanks for sticking it out this length of time tonight, and we'll talk again soon. I love y'all. Peace. Oh, don't forget, hug your babies tonight. Tell them you love them, and tell them you love them in the morning, too. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Peace. One nation.